Okay. And yeah, so I'd love to just take a moment to kind of breathe into this space, breathe. Pretty soon we're going to be moving into the hypnosis. So I don't know if you like have a place where you might want to like lean your phone on something so you can just be comfortable. I don't know if you have to hold your phone right now, but I know that feeling of like holding my phone and my arms getting tired. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, Heather, we are here. We're here to kind of shake things up, move things through. Um, on a side note, I feel like I need to post about this somewhere. I think I did in our group too, but honestly, I really do feel like the energy fluctuations of the earth, like the Schumann resonance, I do feel like they have an impact. We are part of that. And I noticed that for my daughter yesterday for sure. And so sometimes I do feel like there's some stuff going on in the background energetically that is impacting us that might contribute to some of the places that you've been in the past that you might be revisiting, or just some sort of irritability or mood situations. I certainly noticed that with Bella yesterday, and today she's like back to like, I say like her normal self. Yesterday was just like, okay, something's going on. We're just gonna kind of like ride it. But I do wonder about just the impact of the Earth's frequencies with us too. So I just kind of want to put that out there. And so the question to kind of start with for you is, what would you what are you, and you can write this into the comments. I know if you're on your phone, it can be a little awkward. You can also speak them out loud so I can write them down. What are some, I'd say, like beliefs or some wounding with your father figure, with your father, that you are ready and looking to release? What are some things that we're looking to release? We'll kind of start with that. And knowing that we're in a safe space, we're here for a reason. I know, right, Heather? So I'd say like we're kind of distilling it down to sometimes some major themes. Like I'd say sometimes we are in the theme of like feeling betrayed, right? Or in the theme of feeling shame, right? So you might find that you can distill it down to like that sort of sense.
I think for me, I've always kind of had this feeling of just not being enough,
Mm-hmm.
not being enough to love, or not
Yeah.
being good enough for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. I was just doing that with a hypnosis with someone today. So it feels to really, you're not alone in that. Yeah, exactly. Heather too. Not enough to love. Exactly. And then
Mhm.
how does that impact you in your daily life now? How does that show up in terms of your beliefs or what you might choose to do or not do?
Mhm. A little bit worthless, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you
I'm
believe you're
thinking.
worthless, what would you choose to do or not do in your life? You know what I mean?
It makes me feel scared.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also not trust myself,
Mm,
right? I think I
I can
felt,
relate to that one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I felt with my dad, since he was a very, very strong, very much the provider, and always had the answers. Um, and also just with my parents being from South America, I think there's a whole cultural thing as well. It was always that he was right, and my mother and I were always wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So there was lots of judgment and labels and roles that we had to play, and that always, if we didn't do that, then we weren't good enough and we didn't feel worthy of our place in our home. I don't know, it's probably a lot, but that's what's
Yeah.
coming to me.
Yeah. And so how that can play out now, hold on, place in home. Um, is that, for instance, like I'll go back to Heather, like, if you serve no purpose, I don't want to speak completely for you, but you can just give me a yes or no. It might trickle into having a hard time finding your purpose, right? If the belief is I serve no purpose, then how can I, if I'm feeling worthless, then how can I find worth in the work that I choose to do, right? So it might look like some self-sabotage or having a hard time nailing down what I am going to do. Or if I think I'm going to be wrong, how can I be the authority? How could I become a leadership person in work, right? Because how could I be the authority if I'm going to be wrong? Like, for example, I'm not trying to speak for you. Yeah, and Heather, thank you just for being honest right now with where you're at, understanding that it's a deep place of hurt. I understand. And yeah, exactly, of course, right? And that's why we're here. We're here to, and I'm glad you're here right now with this. Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah, beautiful Harper. So yeah, I hear you, Heather. I hear you. So now we're going to kind of look at too, shifting from those beliefs towards what is it that you desire to believe? What do you want to kind of grow stronger, that inner belief that you kind of do know is true, but then those roots kind of get in there, that impacted from the father. But what do you know is true? What do you want to grow stronger?
I'd like to have more of a belief that, or have more confidence in the decisions I make, or just be able to reaffirm the confidence that I feel instead of feeling like I'm constantly second guessing. Like I make a decision and feel good about it, but oh, wait a second. Is that
Mhm.
really what I should be doing? Is that really enough? Is that really, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so when you feel that the initial feeling of that confident decision, can you identify where you feel that in your body?
For me, I would say usually like in my core and my chest. Like I can almost feel like I hold my chest higher when I feel confident in the decisions I'm making or feel good about where I'm headed.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Beautiful. And what else? And Heather, I see yours too. I believe that you have, fulfillment on this planet for sure. And what about for you, Jasmine?
I want to believe that even if things aren't perfect, like everything is still okay and I'm still worthy of being loved. And, my dad's very strong about labeling and putting things in these categories. And I think for me, I don't want there to be these labels with categories. I just want things to be, and it doesn't have to have its, if you do this, then this happens. And if you do that, it's like, it's a constant like label with a result and like what happens to you. If you do this, then you're going to be this way. I don't know how to, but it's like, it's kind of how it's going on in my
It's like
mind with it.
indoctrinated kind of. It's like
Mhm.
this action has this consequence. It's only
Yes,
this consequence. Like
that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
And that is it. And so it almost, that's what creates the not trusting the self, right? So it's just trusting yourself and just letting it be how it all kind of rolls out.
Yeah. And yeah, and if you're not living in that sense of like this action has to have this exact consequence, that's very like what do they say in school now? It's like what is that, how they call it, like open mind, closed mind? It's like growth mindset versus
Growth mindset.
the other one, whatever the other one is. The one your dad is talking about is the other one.
Yeah.
And we're looking at like I'd say growth mindset, right? So
Yeah, it's growth mindset.
okay. So I'm gonna go maybe with you first or whoever, just taking a yeah, like lack mindset. Exactly. Thank you, Heather. Right. So I was gonna say too, even if things aren't perfect, I am worthy. perfection has nothing to do with being loved, right? That might be another
Yes,
one.
exactly.
Are you sure?
Well, we're just playing with that.
I'm totally joking. That's
I
huge.
know,
That
I
speaks
know.
huge to me as well.
Yeah. 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 Cause it's like this bottomless, see, this is the thing we're trying to like, not just fill, but like release is this bottomless pit of needing to be perfect because we can never fill that. Like, when does that ever end? When are we ever perfect? Right? And to whose version? It's exhausting. So if we release that, if perfection is a myth, right? Is it? Can perfection be a myth?
Oh,
Yeah, no, I feel like that word is just, for me, it like, it just, I feel like something very uncomfortable with that word. I really do.
Yeah.
What is fabricated?
Yeah.
Fabricated by insecure people. There you go.
Yeah, that's
With
great.
insecure people? Yeah, it belongs to maybe insecure people. Yeah, 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 right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't, sorry, I didn't see you read that there. Yeah. So if you believed, that you could just make confident decisions, right? This is for each of us. Like, now we're going to look at like painting a picture of one thing you would be doing. It might be like a time, a place, who you're with. We're going to kind of paint a picture of now like what you're doing with this sort of the belief that you know is true, that you desire to have that fulfilled. So for instance, the belief that perfection has nothing to do with being loved. I am worthy just by being me. Like, how does your life improve? Like, what are you doing differently? And same for you, Bree, or for Heather, right? Like, if you're making decisions with confidence, if you are feeling having fulfillment on the planet, right? Like, what's going differently? Does that make sense?
Complete sense.
Okay.
Oh.
So what's something, if you would paint a picture for us, Bree, like you're like, take a time when you're like, maybe second guess yourself, but now you're like, I got this. I'm not gonna second guess this. I've got this. So what would be like an example of that? Like, would it be like with your ex? Would it be just for
Yeah, I
example?
mean, no, that's great. I mean, I guess that kind of leads back to what I've kind of been talking about with you, with being able to hold boundaries and be mindful of my own, just mental and emotional space. And I think for me, that would be having the confidence to just hold those boundaries and keep that space sacred for myself.
So an example might be like, what's something that typically arises where you would be doing this? Is it like making plans for your kids? Like, what's an example that shows up?
Oh man. So let's see. I would say a big one would be how he addresses me with certain things, or how he will come to me, like the ways or times, and so I think specifically just being able to hold that boundary and say, you know what, I'm not going to answer that call right now. I'm going to let it go to voicemail because this isn't a good time for me. Or being able to say, you know what, be able to look at him and say, you know what, I need to take some space with what you brought to me, or, I'm not ready to talk about that right now. Please give me some time. I'll come back to you. Or, I think that's how that would look for me.
Okay, great. And can you is it okay, just for the sake of this, can we say his name in this? Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah. His name is Todd.
Todd. Okay, thanks. Sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
Okay. And then where might you be when this is happening? Would you be like on your phone? What kind of location might you be in?
um, Either Probably like at home in our home or via phone, I guess, whether it's phone call or text.
Okay. That's great. Okay, thank you. Thanks for going through that. I know it's kind of like a bit laborious.
No, that's
It'll be
okay.
worth it. Thanks. And Heather, I see yours, so thank you for that. I got you. And what about Jasmine? What about for you?
Um, so I'm sorry, I got really caught up in what Bree was saying. I'm kind of losing my own
So,
thought,
so we're looking at like the
which is good, which
future.
is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
like
future. Yeah.
it would be like if I were looking at it and my father, I might be like, it's safe um to get expansive financially. It's safe to get rental houses. Like that's something he would never do. It's fine, but I'm just saying if I were doing this, I might say, what looks different. I see myself actually, researching rental homes to purchase. I see myself in the process of like, I see myself very actively in that process because I don't have that undercurrent of belief, that got imprinted from him. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of thing we're looking to get specific with.
For me, I would just trust myself more um and be, it just even happens even at this moment when I'm talking, like I'm like almost doubting myself, like, should I say that? Should I not say that? And
Mm.
I feel like it's totally a part of growing up with my dad, with the constant judgment of what to say, how to be, how people look at you and all those things. I think it's just being comfortable with your thoughts and being able to just say them and
So it could
being
be,
okay with that.
yeah, it
Like
could be
like like
on on Zoom here. It could be like at work, right?
oh yeah, definitely yeah, I've definitely grown a lot with work, but exactly, like trusting that my ideas, trusting that what I have is worthy of being said vocally and
Mhm.
showing showing people what I do,
Yeah.
and not second guessing, like, is it I'm not smart enough? Did I not do
Mhm.
that right? Did I not explain that right?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want to include work or no?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think it came up, so definitely. I mean, I think that's a sign in itself.
Well, no, I said it. So,
I know you said it, but I feel like, yeah. I mean, and I went with it, so yeah, it's okay. Yes,
okay. Okay. If you change your mind, let me know.
yeah, no, it's okay.
It's like, is it anywhere else that you find yourself that you find that happening?
You know, yeah. I guess I would say it's even how I live in my home, and how, perception of how things should be in my home if people are
Mm.
over, and like there's a certain, I mean, I feel like I've been evolving from it, but there's definitely that little voice inside that it's like, when people are over, your house has to be perfect, everything has to be in its place, and you're a woman, so you should have that even more down,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. When people are over. Okay. Awesome. And so what it would look different is when people are over, you just feel more relaxed. You feel just,
Just more, yeah, like it's more of, I feel like this is what I keep coming back when you and I talk, Stephanie. It's letting things just be, and just having them come out the way that they come out, right? And just trusting that that's okay,
yeah.
and not having so much control in every little thing that happens in
Yes.
in in life. And I think for my dad, control was everything.
Yeah.
Everything, including like his job. He was very, he went from being in a really big company, high position, and then his own company. Like everything was always about power for him. And at
Hmm.
home, it was about power. And everything, I
Yeah.
feel like everything was about power. Just like
Yeah.
he always had the power. And you have to have like a lot. I guess it's a lot of ego with that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's. I mean, he's definitely a very different person now. He's also like 85 and totally different, but
Yeah.
and a lifetime has gone, right? But I think his power, and I don't know what she likely absolutely felt powerless. And yeah, yes, I think at points in his life he did feel powerless that made him want to feel powerful. And yep, 100%. And I definitely, that was the case. But anyways, I think that's exactly it. Thank you, Heather.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you. So I think, I think the last piece to kind of look at is just the, just sort of the agreement or willingness to desire to release the impact and power that I'll probably use the word your, so, our fathers had on our beliefs and current actions. How does that sound? Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Releasing the impact and power. Recognizing whether it's, I think I might leave it at that. Right? Okay. Okay, great. So, because we're like, I'm done with that. I don't need, regardless of the complications of that relationship. And I think what I'm also going to bring in is just the remembrance of how souls are imperfect and they have shown up imperfectly. And whatever we have received in this way that we are releasing here, we recognize that it is theirs imperfectly. Right? And that the love that we know that is true, that exists, that's infinite, is coming from an infinite source. Does that sound about good too? Okay.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So when I go in there, okay. So, so you might hear in this hypnosis some things that are not particular to you. And so you're going to receive that which is particular to you. There might be some things from somebody else that you completely resonate with as well. And there might be some things from someone else that's just not really yours. And so that's fine. Like you're always going to receive exactly what's meant for you in this moment and in this hypnosis. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Okay. So is there anything else you want to add, or you feel pretty good to kind of jump in?
I think that's pretty good.
Okay. We're just going to do, it's just sort of like, it's just remembering that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And if you've done this with me, you've done this before. So we're going to do it one more time. But it's remembering too that like you are in control, and like these are your choices. And the body follows the mind. So when the mind says, yes, I'm in, then the body gets to follow it, right? So we're going to do just like a little experiment for the unconscious mind and then jump in. And the first one just involves just putting your arms straight out. It's this book and balloon experiment. We're going to take the right palm to face up. So you can take your right palm to face up. And now you're just going to close your eyes, please, and just envision that I'm putting into your palm a super, super, super heavy encyclopedia right now. And it's just so heavy that palm just desires to lower. It's just so heavy, it really just can't stay up. It needs to go down because it's so heavy with that encyclopedia. And now around the left wrist, we're tying a string attached to a bright red helium balloon that's just so light that arm needs to lift. And I'm going to place in the right palm another encyclopedia right now, even heavier, going even lower, and another balloon around the other wrist going even higher, lifting, choosing to lift, desiring to lift. And you can open your eyes and just notice the difference there. Yeah, noticing how the body follows the mind. And we can shake your arms out. They're up for a bit. Got one more, but this one you can keep your eyes open if you want. You can keep your eyes open. So it's a finger vice experiment. You're going to take your hands out, fingers out, and placing the thumbs are crossed. Those first two fingers are facing forward. You stay like that, and you're going to have me put this vice clamped around those fingers right now, pressing in. I'm starting to bear down on that vice, and those fingers have to go closer and closer together. They are going to touch. There you go. So there they go. I see Bree. I know I can't see you, Heather. I can't see you, Jasmine. But they're just like, I cannot help but touch. So there's just some experiments to show how the body follows the mind, and we're in, we're ready, we're good. I know you have your videos off. That's fine. There's a couple times that I'm just going to ask for your agreement with a nod of the head. I'm just going to assume that that'll be a yes for you, and that we're in agreement with that. So I'm going to put some music on, and we're going to start on in. I'm actually, oh, sorry, hang on one sec. And I am going to just make sure in a moment that the music and my voice are in a good range together. So just take a moment here. That one's not overpowering the other. So let me share through the audio here. And it sounds different for me. So just maybe putting into the comments, if you need the music a little louder, please feel free to let me know, because it doesn't sound the same to me as it does to you. If it would help you to have the music a little louder, you're good. Okay, I see Jasmine's good. Yeah, I feel like I've done this one enough times. I think I see the range, so I think we're good. Beautiful. Thank you, Heather. Thanks. Okay. Beautiful. I think we're good. All right. So we're going to start on into our hypnosis here, as I invite you just to get comfortable in your seat. Position that you've chosen, whether you're lying down or seated, is absolutely fantastic for you in this moment, following what you most desire to get comfortable. As you just sit back, relax, and close your eyes. In a very few moments, you're going to be more relaxed than you've ever known yourself to be. I'm going to mention certain parts of your body, and as I do, I want you to just feel that part begin to relax. Just feel that part just begin to relax. In order to help you relax, I want you to imagine yourself in a wonderfully magical forest. It's almost nighttime, and the sky is a beautiful indigo blue. The stars are coming out, and the moon is lighting up the rich forest trees. Off in the distance, you hear the hypnotic sounds of a bubbling brook, and the crickets seem to be lulling you to sleep. And as you lie motionless, you begin noticing a wonderfully white light just above your head. This white light is the most relaxing light you could imagine, and as it begins to lower around the crown of your head, you seem to be touched with a desire and willingness to relax deeper and deeper with every breath you take, continuing to lower now. It begins to touch the forehead, and as it does, I want you to feel all the little frown lines, all the little worry lines in the forehead just seem to disappear. The forehead smooths out, feels so relaxed, and you feel this relaxing light coming around the eyes. Now the eyelids seem to become very, very heavy. So heavy they don't even seem to want to open. They may flutter a little bit, but that's okay. Just feel how heavy they are. And as the relaxation comes down around the facial muscles now, all the little muscles in the facial area just begin to relax. Relaxation comes further down around the mouth now, and all the hundreds of little muscles around the mouth just start to relax. So much so that the lower jawbone becomes heavy and the teeth part. The mouth may even open up a little bit with relaxation. As you continue deeper and deeper relaxed, feel this relaxation now around the lower jawbone and behind the ears, so that all the little nerve endings behind the ears just seem to relax as you continue deeper and deeper and even deeper. The relaxation goes to the back of the neck now, down around the shoulders. So much tension seems to go to our shoulders. But now you feel the shoulders just begin to relax. You can even feel them drop a little. The relaxation seems to go to the backbone now. And as it goes down the spinal column, it seems to go out to the sides so that every muscle, every nerve, and every fiber in the back just seems to relax. The relaxation seems to come now to the small of the back and around the bottom. This warm sense of relaxation comes to the back of the thigh now and into the hollow of the knee, around the calf of the leg, around the heel, to the bottom of the foot, and each and every toe just relaxes even more and more as you go deeper, deeper, and even deeper. Calm, very peaceful, very relaxed. And now, if necessary, allow yourself to shift your body however you need in order to become even more comfortable and even more and more relaxed. We're going to proceed to relax the rest of you now, starting with the throat muscles. Feel the throat muscles just start to relax. The relaxation comes down the fronts of the shoulders, down the upper arm, over the elbow, down the forearm, to the hand, and each and every finger just relaxes more and more and more as you go deeper, deeper, and deeper, relaxed, just relaxing, doing so very, very well now. As you continue to relax, feel the relaxation now coming back to the throat muscles, down into the chest, and all the muscles and organs within the chest now just begin to relax. This relaxation continues down to the stomach area, and all the muscles and organs within the stomach just seem to relax. This warm sensation of relaxation goes down into the thighs, over the knees, down the shin bone, across the instep of the foot and into the foot itself. And each and every toe just relaxes more and more as you go deeper and deeper, relax deeper, and you continue deeper and even deeper calm, very, very relaxed. Now, I want you to imagine yourself standing in this forest, and at the base of the feet is a beautiful stone stairway that leads downward into a very safe valley of relaxation. The staircase will lead you into a profound state of deep, deep hypnosis. We're going to go down these stairs now. And as I count backwards from 10 to 0, each number will take you even deeper and deeper and even deeper. When you are ready to go down these stairs, simply nod your head, please. And I'll know that you're ready. That's right. Very good. 10, take the first step down. 9, deeper, deeper. 8, way down now. 7, deeper, deeper. 6, deeper, feeling very relaxed. 5, deeper, deeper. 4, you're going into a deep state of hypnosis now. 3, going deeper. 2, relax to even move, feeling very calm. 1. At the next number, you will enter this beautiful place of peace and tranquility called deep, deep hypnosis. More relaxed and peaceful than you've ever known yourself to be. Is that okay with you? I'll know energetically, and you might even nod your head. Wonderful. 0. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. With each number I count, your eyelids will become heavier and heavier. At the count of 3, you'll find that you can't open your eyes even if you try. You'll find, with a little bit of delight, you simply cannot open them. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Don't even try anymore. They're just too heavy. The eyelids are returning to normal now. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. With each number I count, your right arm will get heavier and heavier. So heavy, in fact, that when you try to lift, it won't go up. Just too heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Concentrate on your right arm. Notice how heavy it is. So very heavy. Go ahead and try and find out with a little bit of delight that it just won't lift. It's just too heavy. That's okay. It's too much work. It's just too heavy. The arm is returning to normal now. And now I want you to imagine that there is a string tied around your left wrist, and attached to the other end of that string is a large, bright red, beautiful helium balloon floating up to the sky. As I count from 1 to 3, your left arm will lift and go higher with that beautiful balloon. 1, 2, 3. It feels light, you sense its lightness, and it chooses to lift. It desires to rise. It's just so light. When you're ready to make this change, just allow the arm to drop back down, sending you 10 times deeper than you are even now. And that's right. It is true that just being you, you are enough. You find it easy to believe in your worth. You intrinsically have purpose just being. Nothing else to do, nothing else to be for anyone else. You experience trusting yourself. You eliminate the idea that there is only one way to be, to have a place in the home. You lose the idea that you serve no purpose. You lose the idea you are not enough or not enough to love. Those do not belong to you. You eliminate not trusting yourself. As you see yourself trusting yourself, feeling that confidence, holding your chest high, feeling that sense of self-trust in your core, in your chest, you see yourself having fulfillment on the planet. You find yourself having autonomy, power. It's available to you to have your success. You find it easy to trust yourself. You see yourself holding your boundaries. You act from a place of inner love that nothing can shake. As it's possible, you might envision these ties that have connected you with the beliefs that exist within your own father, the actions of your own father, that at one point or another may have hurt you in some way. And you see those ties that still might exist in some way attached to you, and you might even notice those places where it attaches, where those beliefs from that father are still fed towards you. Those ones around not being enough, or not serving a purpose, or being worthless. You see those direct ties that directly connect to that father. One person in the sea of billions of people. One person who had an impact because that person, in a way, was supposed to show you what your soul knows to be true about love, about being powerful. all those things that are true, that come from an infinite well, an infinite place, an infinite source. And your father arrived on this planet just as an imperfect being, imperfectly able to give you those beliefs, feeling present right to this moment and to this message, imperfectly able to give you those beliefs that you know to be true. And you choose right here, right now, to untangle those cords, noticing where they attach to. We're not even cutting them, we are releasing them like filaments and threads, releasing them like strong cords, choosing in this moment, being in agreement to release them and release them and release them, letting them fall away into the atmosphere, letting them reabsorb back into that human being. Not out of any maliciousness, just out of a simple sense of return, as they are not yours. They never belong to you, and you send them back. As you release the impact or power that your father's actions and beliefs had over you, and might have until this moment continued to affect your beliefs and your actions. Anchoring in with this release, that you eliminate that impact, you eliminate that power that individual held over you. You release and let go of those cords from the heart, from the throat, from the head, from the belly, from the hips, from the tailbone, feet and hands, any and all places, through any and all timelines. You release this soul study as you come back home to this beautiful spark that exists right within your heart, the anahata, the unstruck space that always exists with this glowing bright heart space that may have been impacted, and yet it glows bright with your light, with your truth, with your impact, your boundaries, your trust, your autonomy, your power, your success, your fulfillment, your knowing there is no perfect. You can just be exactly as you be. And that is love. That is intrinsic worthiness, just being. It's meaningless to think that you are not enough to love. It's irrelevant to believe you are not enough. That simply doesn't exist. It's unimportant to believe in your worthlessness. It's useless to think you serve no purpose. As you release these ties and allow them to fall away, we allow that father figure to also recede into the background, into the distance. As you find right within your own heart space this beautiful glowing light, glowing brightly. As it's important to you to trust yourself, you desire to know you are more than enough. You are beautifully able to be loved exactly as you are, with all your beauty, all your imperfections, every and all of it. You're driven to just be, to experiment with life, to go for what you desire. You're compelled to believe in your worth as you release any impact and power your father ever had on you in this and all lifetimes, in all generations, past and future. You have the virtue of self-love. You're filled with unconditional love from the universe and source itself, finding it right within that heart spark, right within. You're compelled to trust yourself. You desire to believe in feeling fulfilled, You're driven to be confident in the decisions that you make, as it's meaningless to second guess yourself. You're filled with knowing your fulfillment on this planet, letting it unfold from this day into the future. You are worthy of being loved. It's meaningless to have any labels or categories, or seeing that actions have to go down one track towards one consequence. You trust in just letting things be. You know perfection has nothing to do with being loved. You are a person who trusts yourself. You trust that what you're saying is exactly right at the exact right time. With an X on Zoom, at work, your ideas are worthy of being said. People desire to hear what you have to say. And if some people don't, it's irrelevant. It means nothing. It's normal. Not everyone has to believe in your beliefs, and that's okay. You get to relax when you have people over, just letting things be, letting things unfold, taking actions that spark your heart towards your fulfillment, your success. Your identity is autonomous. Your status is someone who has her own power. Your existence is fulfilled, and taking actions towards your fulfillment. Your actions bring you fulfillment. You let go of having to control things, as controlling those things hold no meaning. Your integrity is loved. Your character is worthy. Your status believes in yourself. Your existence is someone who makes decisions with confidence. Yourself is in the journey of fulfillment from moment to moment throughout time. You believe in yourself. You accept you are deeply loved from the very roots of creation, of the very universe itself. You're sure that you are loved and love flows through you. You're positive that you are enough to love. You believe in your worthiness. You trust in your path to fulfillment unfolding, opening to it in its right time. You understand fulfillment is yours for the taking. You increase your love for yourself. You increase your self-trust. You expand into believing into your worth. You expand into believing in your purpose, just being who you be. The actions you take will unfold in their right time. You have the ability to find those things, those people that help fulfill you, as it's safe to be fulfilled. It's safe to be in your power. It's safe to be autonomous. You unlock and release any and all beliefs that ever got imprinted from your father that no longer serve you now and into the future and all timelines. You find ease in holding your boundaries, perhaps not answering a call if it's not a good time for you. You easily request when you need to take some space. It's so safe to do so. You find it so easy to say you might need some time. You might do this when you're at home or on the phone or by text. You trust what you're saying is exactly beautifully said in its right time. And those that are meant to hear it and receive it will. And those that are not meant to, don't need to. And that's irrelevant. Your ideas are so worthy of being said. And when you have people over, you can just relax and let things be, as people are just so happy to be with you. You get to come as you are and be beautifully received by those who are meant to, and the truth will show itself. And you might anchor in these beautiful beliefs you know to be true for you, that you are enough. You are enough to be loved. You trust yourself. You believe in your worth. You serve a beautiful purpose. And when you do leave this space, you'll notice you will anchor in these beliefs with a simple motion, a simple touching of your wrist, a simple scratching of your cheek, your ear, will help you anchor in these beliefs you know to be true and anchor in the actions and desired state. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. With each number I count, you'll come 20% of the way back into the room, back to wakeful awareness, feeling wonderful and refreshed. 1, beginning to notice a sensation in a hand or a foot. 2, noticing sounds in the room, perhaps sounds outside. 3, take a nice, big, deep breath in. 4, take a nice, big stretch. 5, eyes open, wide aware, feeling wonderful and refreshed. Welcome back. Beautiful. If you desire, there's no pressure. I invite you back into the room. I know it's late for you, Heather, so there's no wrong or right, just what you wish. If you want to comment on your experience, you're welcome to. If you just feel like you need to, there's no obligation in what you do right now. I just want to offer a few moments of reflection if you want, speaking or commenting in that chat. I see you, Heather.
Took me a minute to get back to my phone.
Absolutely. It's no rush. Like I said, this is for you. Yeah.
That for me, I don't know, it brought this like almost huge sense of like this relief. Just um, yeah, I don't even know how to expand upon that.
Yeah, I feel you. I do. Mm-hmm. Great. I'm glad to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything, again, no pressure, just offering. Anything else for you, Jasmine?
So I think I ended up falling asleep.
Yeah, I know. Lying down this time, I'd definitely be out. So
No, I should have sat up, but no, and yeah, I mean, what the part that I was, but it's always interesting because sometimes I've fallen asleep with you,
yeah.
but before, but I wasn't totally asleep because I could hear, and so I was just probably just very relaxed.
You probably were in a good trance state. Yeah.
Yeah, because I could no, I wasn't completely, because I heard you and I heard everything you were saying. It's just
Mhm.
it just felt like it just felt so quick. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it felt very quick. It literally felt like it was 5 minutes, and it was not 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it probably was a half hour, I think, because
Yeah, I think it was a half hour. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's there's different levels of trance state, and it's fine. You can be in light trance, you can be in like deep trance, and I'd imagine you probably got into like that deeper trance state. Yeah, so it's good. And the beauty is you'll have this recording too. So
yeah.
you're welcome to revisit it if you want. I mean, clearly we've been recording, so you probably would start it at like the halfway mark if you want to listen to it again and just, receive it again. And it'll be um, I'm just thinking I'm happy to I love hearing how it goes. Like, you know me, I like to kind of check in a week
Yeah.
after. So I'm actually happy to check in next week at this time, just like a quick 15 minutes or so,
Hmm.
just to reflect on your experience in the week, following the session. So I'll put that on my calendar and we can come on
Okay.
in and have a little check-in together.
Okay.
Hey,
Sounds
can you
good.
hear me, Steph?
Yes. We can hear you, Heather. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry to interrupt. This couldn't have come at a better time. And I think that I I struggled from the point of yesterday. I applied to be a gymnastics coach where my daughter's taking gymnastics, and I was a gymnast, so I thought, oh, I love working with kids, and it would be something, that I could do, but it immediately started me feeling depressed. And I realize now it's because it's not meant to be my end all, but it could be just a stepping stone for me to just enjoy something so that I can make some money, so that I can start to get certified to be a hypnotist, for example, or get certified in yoga or whatever. But I started feeling depressed from yesterday. The moment I applied, I just couldn't stop telling myself what a loser I was, and how I'm going to make minimum wage, and I'm 50 fucking years old, and I have a fucking master's degree, and I'm going to go be a fucking minimum wage gymnastics coach, and beating myself up and telling myself what a loser I am for like the last 24 hours I've been doing them. And it is definitely my inability to move forward and do what I know I'm meant to do, is that I'm not prepared to do it yet. It's not the right time yet. And I need to put these other things in place so that I don't know. But my ties to my father are all were in my like tailbone area,
Mm.
like the strings I started having back pain during the hypnosis, and I couldn't lay still anymore. I kept having to like pull my knees up, and my back was cramping, and I was rolling over, like trying to stop my back from. And I was born with lower back issues from a long time. I mean, my daughter who died had spina bifida, and Harper has spots on her tailbone that are open wound-ish looking, like the spinal cord almost didn't close on her. And my first daughter had spina bifida. So like, I'm just literally piecing all of this together, and then feeling that conversation talking about releasing the strings, and it was all coming from my tailbone.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt my dad apologizing to me and telling me how sorry he is that he did what he did. And like, I felt him communicating with me,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think he's dead. So I don't know how that's possible. Maybe I
Because
just,
no, because his soul,
yeah.
like we have this big S big ass soul, right?
Yeah.
The big S soul. And then he's here in this lifetime. And so, yeah, his big S soul is like, oh my God, we messed this up. And I'm so sorry. So, yes, his body right now, I don't know if that, this body, this small S soul, but this big S soul for sure. Yeah. I think that's just so I'm perfect. Just I hate to use that word, sorry, but like the root, the root is also where we feel safe in this life to take action. Like we feel safe. And the fact that you all have that, like that's the soma, the somatic that is like releasing that. I think that's beautiful that happened. And I also want to say, you might find a lot of, I'm so glad we did this today too. But what I've noticed in knowing you is that it too, like you take action, you go for something, and then immediately the trigger starts because of that background noise, that backstory, like, oh, you're going to go for something? I don't think so. We got to tell you
Yep.
how unworthy you are and you don't get to have this. And so it's not the gymnastics, it's not anything else, it's just that loop. And so what we did here might very well like help release that. If you wanted to, of course, no pressure. If you wanted to, like, we know exactly what it is. If you wanted to, if you felt the need to go deeper with like a session, we could do that where we just nail this because we see it. We see the trigger itself and what it relates to. And so we could just like get right into that if you want. But this might be enough. I mean, you had an amazing release from that exact spot. So it'll be great to see over the next week how this sort of like unfolds.
Yeah. I just thank you. I mean, it was like so powerful for me.
I'm so glad. Good. I'm so glad, my friend. I just give you huge hugs and I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Well, thank you all for being part of this. Any other comments or reflections?
Oh, I want to say one more thing. When you were talking about the setting and where we were, and you said a forest and it was almost dark and the sky was purple, and I opened my eyes and I looked out my bedroom window, and that's exactly what I'm looking at.
Where you are. I love that. That's
Like
amazing.
I live in the woods now, and so my house is surrounded by a circle of like trees, and I came in this room for some reason tonight, and I never do my my Zooms with you in my room. I'm always
Yeah.
at the computer. But for some reason tonight, I was like, I'm gonna sit in my room and just and there's lightning bugs all through the forest, and it looks like there's like lights on our trees every night.
Oh my gosh, it gives me chills. I can't wait to see
cool.
the lightning bugs.
It's amazing. When you lay
Oh,
in your bed, Stephanie, you'll see them every
I
night.
can't wait. Oh my goodness. I want to tell you one more thing that I don't know at what point it was, but I opened my window. I was like, oh, I should be quiet. There's something that I was saying, and I feel like the crows came to like accentuate the point. I don't know if you're going to hear it through the Zoom because Zoom,
I
like,
heard that.
I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't pull anybody out. That's why I said something about like, let this help you go deeper or something.
I thought the crows were here. I thought they were at my house.
Oh my gosh, they were just like these
Wow.
two crows were just honest to God. Like I've been doing quite a few hypnosis sessions, and like usually it's just dead silent, but they were accentuating whatever was happening in that exact moment. They were like, oh, we're here for it. We're here to make you present, and you're gonna get this message. So thank you,
Yeah,
crows.
like I want to tell you that I felt like my guides, like my grandmas, and they were talking to me, and they were like, when I thought I was becoming depressed because I applied for this job, I thought it meant that's the wrong thing to do. And they were like, no, that's not what we're telling you. It's just that it might just be something to do for right now.
Yes, perfect. I love
And you
it.
love gymnastics and you love kids. Like, what the fuck are you
It's
doing?
gonna be
Of
so
course I'm gonna
fun.
help them.
It's going to be super fun. And who knows, you might get some privates from it. Is this going to be fun? And you're going to make some money? Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. I love the grandmas came in to be like, girl, you're going to, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, good,
They
good,
said
good.
like, this is not the end all be all though. That's not what
Exactly.
I'm meant to do.
Yeah,
And today
exactly.
I met someone and I went to an office, and long story short, they asked, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I literally said, I'd be a motivational speaker. And then I forgot all about it. And I just kept going on with my day, telling myself what a loser I am, that I'm gonna be a gymnastics coach. Like, it's so fucking crazy what my subconscious has been doing to me. These
Yeah.
last 3 years have
Mhm.
been something, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, I see you come out of the woods many times and you're gonna emerge even more from this. And I think even just in this little segment of what just happened, I feel like there's already a shift in what you know. And absolutely, I love that this is like a great bridge. Just think of these bridges. Sometimes we have these bridges, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll be doing in 10 years exactly. So I know I'm here right now. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, you're so
I
good
have
at
to
this.
say, Heather, I love that you brought up the fireflies because I was envisioning,
Oh,
that's what I was
wow.
envisioning as well. Like literally laying in the middle of a circle of trees with the night sky and the stars with fireflies just kind of dancing around. So I
Oh
love
my God.
that that was with you as
Oh.
well.
Oh,
This is my first
wow.
time doing like a group hypnosis, and I really do have that sense of like the interconnectivity, you know, even like trees talk to one another too. I feel like we sort of did that here a little bit, you know?
That's amazing. Wow. Bree, nice to meet you. I feel like I've already known you.
I love that.
Yeah. We should definitely connect on Facebook, because I feel like,
Yeah.
I see that yoga mat under you, and
Oh yeah, I'm there.
we already have some things in common.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
Jasmine,
love
hi.
that.
I'm sorry I didn't even say hello to you.
Hello. No, you're it's okay.
We just jumped right in.
Overwhelming day.
Yeah. Well, I hope you
Mm.
all get some good rest, drink some water, maybe a little sprinkle of Himalayan salts in the water. It doesn't hurt, kind of helps with that connection of our
Oh, good.
electrical
Okay.
field. So
I have Himalayan salt. Okay, I'll do
just
it.
a little pinch, you know. Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Well, have a
Yes.
good night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank you
Thank
so
much.
much,
you.
Stephanie.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. You're welcome. You're
Good night,
welcome.
Thanks,
guys.
you guys.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.